Trolleys, trams, bikes, buses, subways, cars, each mode of transit with unique values and challenges. Specifically in America, the Midwest, and in Storm Lake, Iowa, cars rule the roads with little infrastructure for other methods of transit. This is due to funding, strict zoning laws, private landowners, and a sundry of other factors. Fourth-generation bicycle shop owner of Lakeshore Cyclery, Riley Godfredson, has an optimistic view of bringing more transit, specifically bikes, to Storm Lake.
Storm Lake definitely needs more trails. You know, it's tough because people go to Spencer and Spirit Lake or, Okoboji, and they go to those old bike trails. People come to Storm Lake because of the resort and the university and the lake, but then when they get here and they realize there's not much for a trail, it's kind of a bummer.
As an active advocate for biking, trails, and community, Godfredson is excited about the recently passed $27 billion for biking projects around the nation, with $55 million of that money going towards Iowa, according to peopleforbikes.org. While Storm Lake biking may not have much infrastructure, there are a few places to cycle on campus. Head security Jessica Garling, who has been at BV for 10 years, speaks on her viewpoint on biking and transportation in Storm Lake and Buena Vista.
It's very safe. And you can go all the way down to Kings Point and then into the camping area and kind of come back. And there's not a lot of schools that have that nice biking path around here. Another nice thing we have is that outdoor rec. If you don't have a bike here, not all students do, and that's fine. You can go down there and rent a bike. And then you can take that bike along campus too, which is really nice. So we have a fantastic spot. It's gorgeous with the lake and everything. I just don't think students really utilize it around here, to be honest.
Whether you have your own bike or you need to rent one, BVU makes it easy to experience the benefits of biking. So why not take the chance to explore the lake, connect with nature, and enjoy the mental and physical rewards?
In the summertime, obviously it is gorgeous. This is a prime spot, but no one's here, during the summertime for students as well. So I just think it's lack of knowledge, and biking is work too. It's physical activity, so some people don't want to do that. They want to do video games. So, but yeah, I wish more students would do it, because when you get the vitamin D, you get out almost into nature and then you see the water. It's just so good for everyone's mental health.
The city of Storm Lake has put a lot of time and money and effort into the trail systems we do have. We spoke to Carrie Navratil, the city manager, and Dana Larson, the communication coordinator, to learn what really goes on behind the scenes to make our trail dreams a reality.
In the past, the city has received state money to implement jumpstart our trail system. The mayor has a mayor advisory committee on parks, tree, and recreation, and trail system is something that they talk about a lot. The biggest request we get from people is to put a trail outside of city limits. Well, there's a couple issues there. Number one is you can't use city taxpayer dollars outside of city limits. Number two is that you have to get permission of those property owners. And so as we've had conversations with people, a lot of property owners said no, they don't want to have a trail system by their house. And then we utilize our engineering firm to help us determine where a trail system might be better off and more safe for the pedestrian and the rider.
The system of approval is something that can stand in the way of rapid expansion, but it also keeps community members safe and ensures that money is being well spent.
But anytime that we do have an infrastructure project or a street project, you're looking at over $1 million a block. And those numbers might be a little bit light now with the cost of goods and everything changing all the time. And then you have engineering costs on top of that.
What always shocks people is that there's over 100 miles of streets in Storm Lake, and they're like, why don't you just fix them all?
Even though the city might not be able to grant the dream of instant road repairs and lakeside trails, that doesn't mean that Storm Lake is out of new ideas. In fact, they're cooking up with something big.
The spoil site's kind of east of the golf course. It's just a big wooded area. It's kind of, when we dredged the lake, we put spoil in there, and it's kind of solidified now to where we can think about doing some park-like activities over there. So that's another place to look for trails. But yeah, that would be more of a gravel trail for walking and gravel bikes, maybe, but not for motorized equipment and things like that.
We had public meetings to get input from the public, and then they completed the master plan. And now, because it's so expensive, the city's just phasing those projects in. So the master plan itself was like $6 to $11 million for the city to complete the entire project that the community wanted. Obviously, we can't do that. And so we're just taking pieces and parts of what we can do and what we can afford for each year. So you may not see from start to finish, it may take a decade for something that large. Now, for a pedestrian trail on street, that could take, a course of a couple months, depending upon how fast we can get the traffic information.
The truth is, as much as community members wish biking would instantly be an accessible reality, there are a lot of behind-the-scenes factors that are slowing down our transition into an all-bike world. As community members, we are reliant on cars. Our trails don't connect us everywhere we need to go, and with issues like private property and budgeting, they may not for a long time, especially if the public isn't pushing for new opportunities for alternate transportation. If nothing changes, we will become a society driven by cars instead of driving ourselves. Maybe we already are.